Have you checked out all the new handicappers at Sports Memo? If not, here's your chance. We want to give thanks to all of you Thanksgiving week by discounting everything at Sports Memo through Monday, November 29th by 40% using coupon code THANKS40. This coupon code can be used on anything and everything from daily packages to 12-month all-access passes. Our new handicapping roster of experts is strong, giving you tons of options to choose from. All you have to do to redeem our Thanksgiving offer is go to sportsmemo.com, choose a handicapper of your choice, use coupon code THANKS40 at checkout, and save 40% on your purchase, and repeat as many times as you want until the clock strikes midnight on Monday.
Hey guys, welcome in and happy Thanksgiving Eve here from WagerTalk.com. College basketball, nothing like it this time of year. We've got ourselves some interesting blue blood matchups here coming up over the next 24, 48, even 72 hours. And we got a couple of those games we're going to go ahead and break down for you here. We're going to do it with three of the finest college basketball handicappers this side and that side of any side of the Mississippi, really. And it starts, of course, with the guy up top there, Drew Martin in the house, as well as Adam Trigger and Tony Mejia here hanging out with you guys. And what a week it has been so far here, Drew, in college hoops, huh? How cool is that? We got to watch that scrimmage last night. What was that team the Zags played? I can't remember. It was like a YMCA team that they wiped out all over the place. But other than that, we've had some interesting matchups here, and I think it's only going to get better from here, man. How was the night?
Absolutely, Joe. Well, my night, it ended with a loss by a half a point. So you know how that is as sports bettors, guys. Tough one to take. But, Joe, you touched on a lot of good things. Zags last night kind of showing out there against what a top 10 ranked team and making them look kind of not very good at all. But Joe, we got a lot going on, including basketball right now, which makes the days really exciting coming into Thanksgiving. We get tournaments, in the Caribbean, south of the border. Those are always fun as well, kind of handicapping different aspects of the court, things of that nature to kind of find more winners than losers. So always good to be on with you, Joe. Thanks for having me and happy Thanksgiving.
Absolutely. Happy Thanksgiving, man. And Trig, what's going on? You don't lose these days, I hear, from what a little birdie telling me, man. You keep racking up the wins, my man. It's been a great college start to the college basketball season, man. Profitable night last night as well. What do you got up at WagerTalk.com today?
Yeah, it's going good right now. As you guys all know, and anyone knows at Bet Sports, that doesn't always last. So you got to kind of enjoy it while it's going. But yeah, it's going really good. 9-1 in my last 10 plays. I have a best bet that goes this afternoon. But hint, you should probably just wait until the end of the show instead of going to buy it. Because I'm in a good mood right now, and I'm going to give it out at the end of the show. So you got to watch the whole thing. And if you already bought it, as I always say, just shoot me a DM. I'll make sure you get a different play. I don't want you to buy a play that you would have got. So, it's a little bonus for listening and taking the time to watch us. So I'll be giving out my 4%er that goes this afternoon at the end of the show.
It's just your way of giving thanks on this Thanksgiving Eve here. That's what it's all about. And Tony Mejia, what is going on, my friend? You continuing to do just unbelievable work at the Gold Sheet, of course, Wager Talk, these 16-hour days across all those sports, man. You continue to crush it, man. What do you got going on at Wager Talk?
Well, I'm not in a good mood. So I'm sitting there making a 90-minute drive up to Palm Coast to see my parents because I'm not going to see them on Thanksgiving. And I'm watching the first game of the day, which is Evansville and Vermont. So I'm watching it on the game tracker, and we're up 12 with like 20 seconds to go. Spread is 9. And they fouled a three-point shooter. And so, of course, the kid makes all 3 free throws, which is a huge upset in college basketball, as it is. So you push. Is it going to be that kind of day? Well, then Yale plays Southern Utah in a game that went like overtime, multiple overtimes. And Yale managed to foul a three-point shooter twice, once to tie the game, once to end it where the game was already tied, and the guy throws off a three-point heave. And these are supposed to be Ivy Leaguers. So that's how college basketball started yesterday. It did finish well. I was on Gonzaga. was on Cincinnati, and I was on Cincinnati minus 4.5. I know people got it at 5 or even 5.5. So the ref blew his whistle with the game essentially over, and Cincinnati got a bonus free throw out of that. So, pardon me, Arkansas got a bonus free throw against Cincinnati. I was on the Arkansas side, so the Hogs covered there. So maybe our luck is turning. Hit the Illinois State St. Louis over, but it was a really bad start to yesterday's college basketball, where it's been a good start to the season. So hopefully right that ship there. And, obviously, happy Thanksgiving to everybody.
That's it. Happy Thanksgiving, guys. Quick reminder, 7 days, all access right now, $69. Any one of these gentlemen get 7 days, every play, every sport. You got it, including their 5% best bets, just $69. Take advantage of the Thanksgiving special right now over at WagerTalk.com. All right, let's dive in, guys. We're going to head over to Fort Myers, Florida, if we can. Check out a little Florida, Ohio State in the Fort Myers Classic. Florida opens up as a 1.5 favorite here, 139.5 for a total. So, Drew, coming to you here, my friend. It's a bit of a head-scratching start, certainly for Ohio State. But what do you think we're going to get in this matchup here?
Sure, Joe. I mean, speaking to the Florida Gators side of things, head coach Mike White, I think I'm kind of in the minority, and I'm kind of a fan of him. I look to bet on him more than look to fade him, and especially this year. The Gators 4-0, 3-1 against the spread. They beat a good Florida State team by 16 points earlier this season. Their 3-point defense, very good, Joe. Also, over 70% from the free throw line. So right here, the -1.5, -2 point range. Not as worried to bet on them. Now, Ohio State, their 3-point offense is very good. So it's going to kind of be the key matchup here. How can the Gators kind of defend the 3-point line? But early in the season, I tend to go with 3-point defense over 3-point offense. And the way that they're playing, talking about the Gators here, I'm looking to be betting on the Gators. Always tough to go against the team that's, top 10 offensive efficiency to start the season, but they're having to step up in class, talking about the Buckeyes here. I don't think they're able to do it. I'll take the Gators at the -1.5, -2 range here, Joe.
All right, that's where he's looking. Trig, what do you think, man? Who are you leaning towards in this virtually coin flip game?
Oh, I agree with Drew here. I was not a Mike White guy when Florida hired him, but he's made me a believer over the last couple of years, at least, that he belongs, coaching in the SEC. And I think Florida, I thought this Florida team had a lot of turnover, so I wasn't sure what we were going to get with this Florida roster. But I'm pretty impressed so far. So I do kind of think that Florida is a team that I maybe want to back. I think they might be a little bit undervalued. They really look good defensively. Colin Castleton, great interior defender. And I actually think Ohio State, without Justice Suing, he's still out, is going to have a real tough time scoring here. So this won't make my card. I do think Ohio State they're not necessarily a team I want to bet against. We talked about this tournament on Monday, and I said, Ohio State, catching a couple points against Seton Hall, I thought they were undervalued. Here, I think the number's probably right. I think Florida's got some slight edges in this game. So I'll go with Drew Martin bets here. I'll lean with the Florida Gators. I just think they're the better team.
6'11", Colin, what is it? Castleton, I believe, right?
Yeah.
He's just a force. Bottom line, the kid is an absolute force here. But Ohio State likes to shoot the three. Florida defends the three pretty well here, Tony Mejia. Something's got to give. Who wins this game?
I don't know who wins this game, because certainly I think Ohio State's more battle-tested than the Gators. Florida went out to Tallahassee, and actually I think the game was at home, but they beat the Seminoles pretty soundly, and that's really their most impressive win of the season. Otherwise, they've simply taken care of business. The opener here was against the Cal team. That's about one of the worst Power Fives going right now. They lost Matt Bradley to San Diego State and have had issues with COVID and other injuries really decimate their depth. So not impressive that Florida smoked them. But, if they beat Ohio State tonight, certainly I'll be impressed with that. I am a Mike White fan as well. I think he's a heck of a coach. Really a blessing for him that he coached Tyree Appleby's brother Raheem at Louisiana Tech. So that was an easy recruiting mission. And Tyree's been a solid point guard for the Gators. Castleton's come out of nowhere to be a force inside, as you mentioned. Myron Jones, the Penn State transfer, has been an asset early. They've got Flanders Fleming, who came over also from the mid-major level. So he's not doing it in terms of elite recruits, but he's doing it with X's and O's. Chris Holtman as well, a very solid coach for Ohio State. And Liddell is going to have his work cut out for him inside against Castleton. But he's the type of kid that, he's bigger than he looks. And you can tell that with how many blocked shots he gets, despite being probably about 6'6", 6'7". So I like Liddell. I like Zed Key inside, potentially doing some damage against Florida, maybe getting Castleton in foul trouble, or just essentially, taking their time to generate offense in a tight game that probably slows down the stretch. And if you see where I'm going with this, I really think that the team that has the ball last wins. So I have no interest in the side. I like the total. I think we're going to get under 137 points. It's going to be one of those games that, like I said, final 5 minutes ends up 8-6 or so by with whoever wins, that final segment winning the game, and the total probably ending up in the low 130s. So I'm going to ride the under here.
Going under in that matchup, Florida taking on Ohio State, guys. Should be a great game in the Fort Myers Classic. We're going to head to Brooklyn for game number 2 here. We're going to take on, I believe it's the NIT season tip-off in Brooklyn with Memphis and Penny Hardaway opening up as a 1.5 favorite there over the 5-0 Virginia Tech Hokies. Total of 140.5 here. And Drew, I'll come back to you here, my friend. Virginia Tech beat a Virginia team, which I don't even know how great that is at this particular point with Virginia. But Merrimack, well, now we're actually, no, they suck too. So who has Virginia Tech beaten that you would want to go ahead and back them here taking on Memphis tonight?
Well, yeah, Joe, I mean, in your tee up here, talking about both teams having to step up a lot in class. I have the best team that Virginia Tech beat as number 152 by Ken Palms reigning in Navy. And then on the same side, Memphis, the best team they beat, was a number around 100 St. Louis team. So both of these two teams having to step up in class, and the contrast of styles here, Joe. We get one of the fastest teams in the country in Memphis. I have them top 5 in tempo versus a 300 team in tempo in Virginia Tech. So who's going to control the pace of the game usually has a lot to do with who's going to win the game. I think Memphis, and when it comes down to that, especially on a neutral court here in New York, I always go to who's the more talented team. And in my opinion, the best athletes on the floor are with Memphis. So seeing them -3 here, head coach Penny Hardaway, like the way he's been able to recruit there to Memphis. Now, the only thing that worries me here, Joe, is they're under 65% from the free throw line. Laying 3 points here with Memphis, you do worry about that. Are they able to knock down their free throw shots towards the end of the game? Hey, that's something we'll have to wait on here. But number 1 3-point defense for Virginia Tech versus a top 10 3-point offense for Memphis. Who wins that battle is going to come to the forefront as well. I'm going to go with the better athletes here, Joe, kind of reluctantly, but Memphis -3. It does worry me that they can't knock down their free throws, though.
Yeah, no, it's always a worry, especially in tournaments like this here, Trig. But listen, the Hokies are a real experienced team. They brought that kid in from Wofford as well. Yes, Memphis might be a little more athletic, but they got bigs. They've got experience. That win on the road against Navy was impressive. What do you think of this Tech team?
Oh, I mean, I like Virginia Tech. 2 years ago, when Mike Young took over, he kind of the cool thing to do at the time was to just go out and sort of reload your team with transfers, and he was like totally against that. He basically just kept what he had, which was very little that he inherited when he got to Virginia Tech, and built it with guys that he recruited. And so now he's got a very veteran team, and he adds Storm Murphy from Wofford, who's probably a player he actually recruited, back when he was there. Redshirt senior that averaged 17.8 points per game for Wofford last year. So, I like this Virginia Tech team. They haven't played anyone yet, so now they're going to step up and play Memphis, which is, and Drew makes some good points about Memphis. And this is not a game that I'll be anywhere near tonight, but if I had to just throw a lean out here, I don't really want to oppose Virginia Tech right now. and getting a couple points. I would say that just the slightest lean, neutral floor to Virginia Tech. I like the experience, and I think if I had to bet this game, I would go with the experience and go with the Hokies.
All right, looking at the Hokies in this one. What do you think here, Tony? Another total for you in this one, or are you looking for a side?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to agree with Adam that my lean would be Virginia Tech. Certainly, Memphis is the more talented side. No question about that. And I think the layman fan who's probably not betting on the game just wants to see Imani Bates, see what all the fuss is about. From Bates' standpoint, this is a big stage game, and they haven't had one of those yet. So I want to see if he rises up. His performances so far have been rather ordinary. He's averaging 13 points, 3 rebounds, and actually Jalen Duren, another future NBA player, has had more of an impact. He's blocking shots and averaging a double-double. So both of those guys, lights are on. I want to see a show. Hopefully we get it. And Virginia Tech, though, the sounder team, the more experienced team, with Mutz and Kevi Aluma inside, I think they'll be able to make some inroads against Duren. And if Duren gets into foul trouble, then this is a game Virginia Tech can win easily. But you asked me if I like the total more, and the answer to that is in the affirmative. I think this is going to be a higher scoring game than expected because we've seen Virginia Tech play slow, and certainly that's Mike Young's preference. But some of these games that they played, I think, have affected this total, considering Memphis wants to push at all costs. And while it's, the old adage is a team that wants to slow you down is probably going to succeed as opposed to you speeding them up. The fact that this number is just 140 and has even dipped under that at some spots, I think just makes it too attractive to resist. Merrimack, they zone you all day, zone you for 40 minutes. So no surprise that game ended up with a total points scored of 115. Navy, another team that wants to go slow. Radford, same thing. I mean, probably one of the slowest tempos in the country. They barely got to 100 points in that game combined. So, the numbers are a little skewed. And if we see Memphis succeed in pushing tempo, I think it's going to take over 70 to win this game. And if it's tight, that means the over will hit. So I like the high side here with a slight lean to Virginia Tech on the side.
All right, good stuff there. Winner of this one, in all likelihood, looks like they're going to be meeting either Xavier or Iowa State on Friday for the championship. And that leaves us, of course, with one other game here to break down for you tonight. And boy, oh boy, this one should be fun. Baylor, the champs, taking on Arizona State. 11 at this number. I saw it as high as 13 in some spots. 143.5 as an open here. Drew, this just feels like it's going to be really lopsided here. We don't too much turnover at Arizona State. What we've seen for them here, not a lot of consistency. Baylor, on the other hand, looks like a lean, mean fighting machine again here. Are you willing to roll the dice and back the dog here?
You know what, Joe? I don't think so. I agree with your lead in here. I mean, the Baylor Bears, top 10 in both offensive and defensive efficiency. They turn their opponents over a bunch. One of the best in the country at doing that. So I'm looking to bet Baylor against teams that struggle kind of handling the ball, I guess less talented guard play. And talking about Arizona State, excuse me, you kind of brought it up in terms of the turnover. They really miss Remy Martin, not having him kind of handle the ball back. I think it really is glaring tonight in prime time in Atlantis, Paradise Island, by the way. I think head coach Bobby Hurley's team really struggles. Their free throws under 65% as well. So I think the Baylor Bears roll. Seen this number kind of bouncing around between -11, -13, like you talked about. If you made me play it, I would lay it. But also, the Baylor Bears have struggled at the free throw line, 61%. That's what's probably going to keep me off of this, Joe. But I do agree with you. I think the Baylor Bears roll here. And if you had to bet it in prime time, that's the way I would go with the Baylor Bears. But even more so, Joe, I want to suggest Atlantis, Paradise Island next year. Let's do the show from there, man. This is awesome.
God, you know what? As soon as we're done here, I'm leaving. We're doing it. Let's book it. I'll just stay there the whole year. We can swim there, Drew. Who you kidding from Florida?
Yes.
All right, so let me ask you a question here, Adam, because I think if Bagley was playing, if Marcus Bagley for Arizona State was playing, we might be having a different conversation. But they don't even have their best player, and Baylor is averaging wins by 35 points against the teams that they played. Stanford most recently. everything on paper tells me this is not going to be close. Do you think it's going to be close?
Well, I'm going to start by saying if Arizona State was healthy right now, you mentioned Bagley being out. That's a huge deal. If Arizona State was healthy, I would love Arizona State here. Like, absolutely love. But I can't bet them with Bagley being out and with the fact they're banged up. See, I think Bobby Hurley did a good job in the transfer market. I like the guys they brought in. Marion Jackson from Toledo. Luther Muhammad from Ohio State's been good. The kid from Illinois State is already productive. So Arizona State is a team. I'm not going to bet them tonight, but I'm definitely looking to bet them when they get healthier and get a couple more games under their belt. So I won't be on Baylor here. If anything, I'd be on Arizona State. But with no Bagley, I just can't do it in this spot. However, I think I can make a case to not bet Baylor. At some point, like, Baylor lost an all-time backcourt, okay? Like, that team from last year with Davion Mitchell, Jared Butler, Maceo Teague, both ends of the floor. Like, I mean, that's an all-time trio to lose. And they also lose Langston Love in the preseason. So, like, I came into the year looking to bet against Baylor. However, I haven't done it yet because they just haven't played a competition that I was willing to back against them. Arizona State would have been the first team I would have been willing to back against Baylor, but I can't do it with Arizona State being banged up. So it's a pass for me. I won't be on Baylor here. If I had to play this game, I would take Arizona State, but that's the nice thing. We don't have to bet every game on the board. But just for some actionable info, I'm definitely looking to play against Baylor at some point, and I'm definitely looking to play on Arizona State at some point. It's just not going to be right here.
This is tough. You've got a team that loves to get turnovers versus a team who does nothing but turn the ball over here, Tony. Also, one team dominates the boards, the other team doesn't. So what do you think here? Are you willing to fade Baylor a little bit? You think there's just too much love and support in the marketplace for Baylor? Is there any value on Arizona State?
No, I don't think there is. Look, the one thing Bobby Hurley has going for him is his team may like each other. I'm not sure if they do or don't, but I know last year's team hated each other, and chemistry issues were an issue from day one, and never really got fixed. And then they obviously had the COVID outbreak. Josh Christopher spent time out due to that and barely got back, and then took off for the NBA. And there's a reason why Remy Martin is gone. There's a reason why Alonzo Verge is at Nebraska. And so, yeah, the transfer market was at a necessity hitting that. And hopefully Hurley can have better luck. I think he's a good coach. But, last year was just a misuse of talent. And for lack of a better term, the fact that those guys didn't get along, I put on that coaching staff and not getting it to work. Baylor obviously got it to work last year with the three guards that I agree with Trigg were something that a program is blessed with once every 25 years, guys that are willing defenders and assets on the offensive end and willing to share it and whatnot. But this particular Baylor team, I think, likes each other. They've got a championship pedigree with the guys that do come back. LJ Cryer barely played last year. He's now the leading scorer. They added a key piece in Kendall Brown. James Akinjo from Arizona and Georgetown has come in and really taken some of those shots, and he's going to be a really elite offensive player in the Big 12. And then you've got the bigs that were there last year, Flo Thamba and Jonathan Chamo Chechua, who are going to do the dirty work and the rebounding. So it's a very similar Baylor team, despite the fact that the talent level is a little down, and that's why they're beating teams by 35 points per game. And though they haven't played anybody, I think 12 is just too light. 12, 13. So this is a climb play for me. I have it out there. Anybody watching gets it for free. So I like Baylor to win by at least 20 points. To me, I think that they are much further advanced, and I would like them even if Bagley was in the mix for Arizona State, which he obviously is, and it's Kamani Lawrence and some of those transfers that have been mentioned. So, from a chemistry standpoint and the continuity, like Baylor, I think they take care of business tonight and win going away.
Well, I will say it. If Connecticut loses today and Arizona State loses, that means we've got a Hurley off coming up, man. We've got the Hurley brothers battling against
Hurley
each
ball.
other. Yeah, gotta love a good storyline, that's for sure. And I don't think UConn's losing. All right, so there you got it, guys. 3 big games on the board here. Now it is time to see if, with 50 games in total here in college basketball today, Drew, I'll come to you, man. Is there one that you got circled you like a little more than any others?
Sure, Joe. You know, it actually has something to do with the game we just talked about in terms of the location that it's played. Atlantis, Paradise Island here, actually watching Loyola Chicago and Michigan State as I'm talking right now, as we're doing the show. This game looks to, as long as it doesn't get OT'd, fall short of the total by about 20 points. The rims do look tight there on the island. That's something I look for this time of year, Joe, in terms of tournament time betting totals. If the rims look tight, look for the unders in the next 4 games or the next 3 games. If they look loose, look to the over. Sure enough, looking at the Wager Talk odds screen right now, this pinnacle line is jumping all around 131 down to 130 and a half, now down to 130. There's other people out there looking at the same as me, and it points me to the Syracuse VCU game. Towards the under, we're seeing 130 and a half out there available. I like it towards the under. We get Syracuse, you know, their defensive possession length very long. VCU not looking to run up tempo. I think it's a low-scoring game, a la the first game here in Atlantis, Paradise Island. So using all of that information to our advantage, betting this under Syracuse, VCU, under 130. You can get a 130 and a half out there.
All right, there you go. Love it. Talk to me here, Trig. Where are you looking on the board here tonight for us?
Yeah, well, I'm not going to have a single penny on any of the 3 games that we talked about. So I know you guys show up for actionable info to bet on. And so I will give out the 4% play I have up right now. It goes off in about 30 minutes, so should be plenty of time to get it in. I'm on the Oregon Ducks. I'm going to buy low on the Oregon Ducks here. I'm taking them +5. I still think Oregon is the best team in the Pac-12. I picked them to win the Pac-12 prior to the season. And I actually do still think they're going to end up being a better team than UCLA this year. We saw UCLA get killed last night. Granted, it was by Gonzaga. Oregon, they have 2 losses. But listen, the 2 teams they lost to are combined 10-0. And those 2 teams are both awesome. BYU and St. Mary's are 2 really good teams. And specifically last night, St. Mary's, that's just a really hard style of a game to play. And Oregon fell into the St. Mary's sort of, game in the 50s. St. Mary's is just running offense at such a high level right now that I don't really dock Oregon many points for losing to BYU and losing to St. Mary's. Oregon, they have a handful of transfers. If anyone can turn something around quick, it's Dana Altman. He's the best coach in the Pac-12 right now, one of the best coaches in the country. And you've got Davion Harmons came over from Oklahoma. Guerrier from Syracuse. Those 2 I don't think have fully fit in yet to the Oregon offense. Jacob Young kind of has. He's looked good. I still expect more out of Will Richardson. So I just think we just haven't really seen Oregon play the game that they're capable of playing yet. Houston, on the other hand, I knew they were going to be overvalued coming into the season from last year. Houston's kind of been what I've expected. They struggled with Hofstra, probably should have lost. They ended up losing to a Wisconsin team that I think is probably middle of the pack in the Big Ten this year. Definitely not a top 5 team in the Big Ten for me. And then the teams that they beat were all really poor offensively. So I think, Houston's going to play physical man-to-man defense, and they're a very good defensive team. Oregon's got the athletes. I think this is going to be more of a scrap this game. Oregon +5. That 5 is way too many. I actually like Oregon to win here. But if you're going to give me 5 on a neutral with Oregon after getting embarrassed last night, that's just way too good to pass up. So 4% client play, Oregon Ducks +5.
All right, Oregon Ducks +5. Get it done here. And did I just hear Robert screaming and yelling? I can't think. I think our producer just fainted as you faded his Houston Cougars. Talk to me here. What do you got, Tony Mejia? Which game you got circled tonight?
Well, we'll go out to that Maui Invitational at the Mandalay Bay, the Michelob Ultra Arena in Vegas, where we'll have Texas A&M playing Notre Dame late tonight. And I like the Aggies to getting points, win outright over the Fighting Irish. Irish had a shot to beat St. Mary's in an ugly first round game, which essentially was a quarterfinal, and it was up for grabs down the stretch. St. Mary's made plays when they had to, and then Notre Dame, blew out Chaminade, and they come into this game looking like a very ordinary team. I mean, I don't see Mike Bray getting this particular Notre Dame team to the NCAA tournament. He does have a couple of promising freshmen, both from the South Bend area, that he can develop all season, and we'll see if they make a difference later in the year. But I don't, eye test wise, this Notre Dame team looks ordinary. Texas A&M had Wisconsin on the ropes, up 16 early, and then they found themselves down 16, lost by double digits. It was a really disappointing collapse. They bounced back and looked good in taking care of business yesterday against Butler. But that Butler team, and as an aside, take a shot at the Chaminade Silver Swords, plus 1,100, 1,200 on the money line. Because Butler has looked terrible, and they're down Bryce Enzi with a shoulder injury. Bo Hodges, the wing, and guard Miles Tate are also potentially out today. So while Chaminade is a huge underdog, who knows? Stranger things have happened. They've certainly beaten better teams than the Butler team they'll face today. And A&M, handily beat Butler yesterday. I think they'll take down Notre Dame today. So I'm interested in taking the points, 3.5, 4, and riding the Aggies against the Irish tonight.
Yeah, you're still pissed they didn't win the other night. All right, there you go, guys. You got it all wrapped up there. One other game here that I'll be on here tonight. I'm looking at the Tritons, UC San Diego, a whale's vagina. 5.5 points here, taking on Montana. Look at the numbers here, guys. 5.5, I think, is way too much. I do think they are a live dog here. Going to be closer to 5.5, maybe even a outright winner with the Tritons here, who have been nothing but money. 3-0 as a dog, winning those games by double digits here. I think this is going to be real close. UC San Diego here tonight, guys. And do not forget, take advantage right now, $69. You got a 7-day all-access pass, which means all plays, all sports from our guys here. That's right. Any one of your favorite handicappers right now, $69. That'll go ahead and get you a 7-day all-access pass. Get every play from every sport, including the 5% best bets. Take advantage of it now here at WagerTalk.com. All right, to recap what we got going on here, guys, one more time. Trig says, take Oregon. What was that, Robert? Screw you, Trig, is what I'm hearing in my earpiece there. Screw you. Oregon +5. We got Drew, VCU. Hughes, look for the under 130.5. Tony Mejia, Texas A&M +4. Screw you, Irish. And I'm back in the UC San Diego Tritons here, +5.5 against Montana. Guys, a loaded day here today on the YouTube channel of Wager Talk. Coming up, very special edition of Bet On It coming your way. Talking about breaking down all 3 games in the NFL. Coming up, of course, tomorrow on Thanksgiving Day. Don't miss that. Plus, the best damn college football show still coming, as well as the NBA tip-off show. So plenty of opportunities here, guys. Knowledge is power. Plenty of it is coming your way here on the Wager Talk channel. But in the meantime, on behalf of Drew Martin, Adam Trigger, and Tony Mejia, guys, we certainly wish you and yours a very happy and safe Thanksgiving. Make sure you come back and join us again on Friday as we get you ready for the weekend card in college hoop. Thanks again, guys. Best of luck with your plays. Happy Thanksgiving. We'll talk to you soon.
A Black Friday quiz, which is better? 1, paying $349 for a 1-month all access, or 2, paying $244.30 for 1 month all access. The day after Thanksgiving, we want to continue giving thanks by giving all of our customers 30% off anything priced at $149 or more. A Black Friday sale was always a once-a-year chance to buy something at big discount, and this is it. Even better, we are running this promotion Black Friday through the end of Cyber Monday and making coupon code THANKS30 have unlimited uses. Whether it's a single sport package, a 30-day all-access, a full season of college hoops, or a full 12 months from your favorite handicapper, you will save 30% with coupon THANKS30. You can fill your goodie bag as many times as you want until the clock strikes midnight on Monday.